you ever wanted to write and publish your own book to hold it in your own hand? I'm Mila Johansson from Pen to Published, and I coach writing and publishing. In fact, I helped Steve, Irma, and Olivia put together their book, Heart Notes, as an example of what I do. And I'm so excited to be an official sponsor for the Sing Your Heart Song Summit in July. Right now, you're going to experience a speaker spotlight series. There are so many valuable speakers for you to get to know before they do their presentation. Don't just watch, join the conversation in chat.
The Sing Your Heart Song Summit Speaker Spotlight Series featuring Nadine Thompson. Nadine Thompson is originally from Jamaica, but now she lives and works in China as an ESL teacher. Nadine is a published writer with a book of poetry called Encounters. This is a compilation of poems about the daily life encounters and the psychological and social effects that they have on the individual. In addition, Nadine also loves meditation, gardening, taking long walks, traveling, exploring the seaside, and tasting wonderful tropical fruits. These experiences contribute to her passion of journaling and writing. You can find Nadine's book on Amazon, and she's received many wonderful reviews, such as this one. Encounters is an engaging collection of poems that calls for our attention and engagement along an experiential journey. It's a great read from a multicultural literary specialist. Mark your calendars. Nadine will be presenting on day 3 of our summit under the theme of Sharing Your Heart Song. One of Nadine's favorite quotes that she lives by is this: "This too shall pass. Whether good or bad, all things will come to an end." Good morning. Welcome to another fabulous segment of the Sing Your Heart Song Summit Speaker Spotlight. We hope that you have enjoyed these little snippets and glimpses of, candid conversations that we're having with each of our presenters and helping you to get to know them, so that way you'll be more excited to hear their presentation during the upcoming summit, which is only weeks away, coming up very soon here in July. And I just love being able to attract so many international speakers to our summit. And today I'm very pleased to introduce to you Nadine Thompson. So I'm going to bring her on right now. Nadine, welcome. How are you today? Oh, Nadine, I'm not able to hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Welcome,
I was saying it, thank you. I was saying it's morning where you are, but it's already almost midnight where I am.
Oh my goodness. Yes, because you're in China right now.
Yeah, I'm in China right now, yes.
That's amazing. And, I feel so connected, even though you're in a different part of the world, but here we are side by side on the screen, and I still feel very connected. So thank you to the internet gods.
Yes, yes, true.
For making Wi-Fi and connection possible, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. So, tell me, so where did you end up in China? So you are originally from Jamaica, as we've mentioned in your bio. So what led you to now be in Asia?
Well, in 2006, I actually was working in Japan. I was there as part of the JET program. And then after I finished my work in Japan, I always wanted to go to England to study. So then I went to England. And while I was living there, I actually was living with a Chinese family. So after I finished my studies, they were saying, yes, you've been in Japan, but you have to go to China. You should go to China. So they were saying, yes, there's a market opening for teachers there, so you should try. So I did, and then that's how I ended up in China.
Incredible. And so you were with that JET program in Japan. Can you
Yes,
tell
I
us
was
a
with
little
it.
bit more about that JET program and how people may get involved? And who's it for? Is it only, because in my understanding, I've only seen it available for, fresh college graduates. But, is there, what is the application process like for the JET program?
Well, they do take young graduates, but they take, I think, people up to 45, 50 years old. And I was already a teacher in Jamaica when I saw it advertised in the newspapers and I applied. I applied through the embassy of Japan in Jamaica. It was quite a long process. I had to get several documentations and then I had to go do an interview. Then after that, we had to do the preparation section to get to Japan. So it's quite a detailed program. Yeah. But they do take people up to age, I think, 45 and probably older. Yeah.
Oh, that is good to know, because when I first heard about it, I was, in college at the time and
Okay.
exploring what to do, after you graduate. And
Yeah.
so, um, that's another thing we have in common, because I also went on a Fulbright to teach English in Vietnam. And so, what is your favorite thing about teaching ESL?
You get to know so many students for one, because when you think of it, you might think that kids in Japan or China, they're quite different from Jamaica, but they're still just kids, and they still enjoy some of the similar things. They still have some of the cheekiness. They still have. So when I was in Japan, all of them would say Nadine Sensei. Now I'm in China, and they said Lao Shi. So it's that feeling of you just being a teacher and being part of their lives that I really enjoy. And also just meeting people from everywhere in the world. That was a great experience. Yeah.
That's so wonderful, Nadine. Thank you so
Mhm.
much for sharing that. So I do want to read an excerpt from your book, Encounters. So I
Yeah.
have a copy here, and you wrote about the JET program as one of the poems. So I'd like to read it, if I may.
Yeah.
All
Mhm.
right.
That's
So
good.
Japan for Jets. And this is from Encounters by Nadine K. Thompson.
Mhm.
The JET program, like a young mother, nurturing thousands, echoing their gurgling sounds. This journey encapsulates a place of movement, caressing the footfalls of those who came and went, trekking through the Inaka and the city. This magazine, a receptacle of memories, of laughter, dreams, frustrations, and fears. These images would flood riverbanks. This home video affirming an album of subtle sounds, capturing the faint whoosh of those who left, the vibrations of those who are still here, the rising anxiety of those who are yet to come. This experience of exchange, a lasting monument locked up in time, recording our histories, celebrating our victories, sealing our alliances, creating new perspectives, linking our destinies. I love
Yeah.
that poem.
Yeah, because I wanted to capture the whole essence of that. So many of us were there, and we were, even though I'd been a teacher before, but I felt like I was starting over, something different, something new, and it was new experience. And the people were really wonderful, and we had so many wonderful memories that I think forever we'll be linked by these memories. Yes. So yeah.
I love that. And I love that you're capturing that feeling and the metaphors that you use.
Mhm.
that the GET programs was like nurturing this in you, right? And
Yes.
nurturing new cultures and plans.
Yes. Mhm.
And how would you encourage other people to travel and to explore new cultures?
Well, there's a whole new world opened up now, I think, to young people and people, especially now in colleges. So there's avenues for teaching. There's avenues for working. I think on for example, programs dealing with peace, programs dealing with volunteering. There's so many different things that you can do. So I encourage youth people to go and do it because when I was in Japan, I also volunteered and I worked in Thailand for 2 weeks in an orphanage. That was also a great experience. So there are many programs I think like that that you can find and you can get involved in, and it will always I think push you further, open up your mind to what the world is like, and you see that we are not so different after all. It's a really really great experience. Mhm.
Beautifully said, Nadine. And, where does your inspiration for writing and journaling come in? Like, why is that so important for you?
I was always writing. I think as a child, I started writing poems. My first experience with poetry, actually, I had a teacher, and she actually got a scholarship to go to Australia. And while she was there, she decided to buy gifts for her former students. So when she got back to Jamaica, she actually gave me a small book of poems. And I really loved the poems, and I decided to try writing my own poems as well. So that's how I first started out. I was about maybe 10, 11. So I would always write poems and just have a booklet of different things I would just write down because it just felt natural to just write. And so I was always writing. Yeah.
Indeed. And oh, thank you. Thank you, Corinda, for jumping into our chat today. So, yes, if you are watching this, please engage and connect and let us know if you are also a writer or a poet, and we can share our stories together. So, Corinda does have a question here for you. What is your story? How did you become a business?
Well, I'm now trying to become a business. So I started a Facebook group called Soul Poetry. And from time to time, people will ask me, "Oh, Nadine, we have a wedding. Could you write some beautiful lines for us?" And or it's whatever things they have, celebrations. So I decided, okay, I could use that idea to start my own little business. So it's called Soul Poetry. It's not very big yet, but it's just starting out. So whenever people want inspirational writing, I use just that logo, Soul Poetry, and I write something for them. And I'm starting to establish it as a business.
Okay, very nice. I'm looking for the Facebook group. It's called Soul Poetry.
Soul Poetry, yes.
Okay, excellent.
Mhm.
All right, definitely. Wonderful.
Yeah.
And do you experiment with different methods of writing? And you know how there's like different ways to write poems, like the haikus, etc.
I have. So I like so I've done like a poetry course, like online I did poetry. And when I was at university, I also did poetry. So I like to write free verse, but I've also done different kinds of writing. Just the other day I was writing the Japanese style of writing where you write like a paragraph and then you go back and you write a haiku and then you write a paragraph again. So I've experimented with that because I like it. It tells a story in a different way. I've also tried to write limericks and use, rhyming lines and different ones because I also was part of a group of writers in China, and we did this thing called 30 Days of Poetry, and we had to write many different types of poems. So you could like cut stuff from a newspaper, put it together, and make many different shape poems, every kind of poem. So I do that as well. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite limerick that you like to share? Is there one that you remember?
Uh, Years ago, I was writing just stuff when I was writing for the magazine in Japan to send something. So I just have my notebook here, and it's just full of different writings in pencil. I'm always writing. So I'll see if I have. a limerick or something here. But yeah, so I keep writing. I've also done, so this one is like this one is more like a haiku. So yeah, 3 lines, 5, 7. So it says, morning light appears, the new day has awakened, nature stirs and sighs. So that's one. Um, most of my poems are quite long, quite longer ones. So yeah, if I find, yep, I don't have any haiku. I only have haiku. Sorry, I don't have any limericks in this one.
Thank you for
Yeah,
sharing. I love that, you carry a notebook around, right? Because you never know when something will come to mind and you want to capture that.
yeah.
Excellent. And so just to give everyone a little bit of background, even how you and I met, we were in a writing workshop together with Mila
Yeah.
Johansson. And so Mila is our summit sponsor, right? So she's done a lot of work with Steph, Garvin, Irma Goosen, and myself. And, she's very graciously stepped up to become a sponsor of the Singing Heart Song Summit. And she does these writing workshops, which you and I were a part of. And, and I was looking for speakers. And so you jumped up at the chance. So I really appreciate you taking action and wanting to be part of the summit.
Yeah, thank you. I thought it was a wonderful experience that, this was happening. And I said, okay, I had done something similar with the Voices of Women for Women's Day. And I thought, yeah, this would be another great opportunity to step up to. Yes.
Okay,
So
yeah. So
looking,
let's talk. Yeah, so let's talk about that. So this is a book project you did with Kimberly Crow, Voices of Women.
uh-huh.
And this was starting in March for Women's Day.
Yes, so on March 8th, she had like over 200 women on the Voices of Women Summit. And I also participated, and my speech at the time, my part where I talked about woman transition into love, to self-love, that a woman transition into self-love. And that day said 20 women wanted to be part of this book that I wanted to book as well. And so that was made into, so they all made it into a book. So in this book, there are about 20 women who have shared their stories there. So I also shared in that book. Mhm. So now it's out, and people can also get this book.
Indeed, they can. So you can pre-order, right? You can
Yeah, you
pre-order
can read it.
the
Yes.
book right here. So it's available. And I was flipping through just a preview. I mean, you are head to head with some, pretty amazing other women influencers. So I'm very happy to see that you're moving in this direction.
I'm happy
Getting,
to.
yeah, getting known, being visible.
Yeah. Because I started the year with this mantra, and it was about my self-love elevates me. And then since I started with that, I've been finding opportunities where I can speak about this topic, where I can say more, where I can grow, and it's just been amazing. So I do advise people to have this kind of goal and this kind of thing that you are speaking to the universe, and then you can see what follows.
That's a beautiful mantra, right? So I've often heard of like the one word year, choosing a one word for the entire theme of your year. But I love that you went with a mantra, and speaking that into existence. And was there a moment in time when you didn't have that self-love for yourself?
I think I didn't understand everything about self-love. I think mostly understand that I need to be intentional. So I work really hard. I have goals, but I never sat out about what's it you really want to do, why do you want to do it, put yourself first, things like that. I was always mostly okay. I'm so driven, I'm working hard, but I didn't have that clarity about who I was and what I was doing. So I think now I'm moving in that direction.
That's fantastic. And are these things that you're teaching, your students, right? Because I think you teach fourth grade. And so are you helping them also to maybe discover that
Yeah.
intentionality behind love for them?
I am teaching them because we do have some students who don't believe in themselves. We do have some students who are told that, or maybe you can't achieve something. So this year I had one student and she said to me, from grade 1 to grade 3, now coming to grade 4, everybody always says, oh, you're caring, you're caring. But she said, I want to get an award for something else. And so I started saying to her, but you're also very smart. And she started to believe in that. And then at the end of this, we've just finished the semester and she did really well. So I think, yes, this kind of thing of believing in yourself and speaking different things is really, really important. So you can see yourself in a different way and project that and believe that. I think that.
Exactly, because I can imagine that's a tender age, right? Fourth grade, like they're in the between that tween, the tween stages, and so lots of exploration around that with their self
They
beliefs
really
on
are, yes. They Mhm.
changing. Exactly. So, what is the next project you're working on now? Like, what is do you have a second book of poems coming out, or what are you working towards now?
Actually, I have several things I'm working on. So I'm trying to write a book. It's almost like a memoir about my travels where I've lived, or it's kind of, I'm making it into a nonfiction book. Still trying to work out what I want in that book. I've written some chapter that together. I've also been asked to write. So another person has asked me to write a chapter. He got started writing. And I also now have, so the top topic I chose, love on choreograph. I'm also looking at the idea of love and how we see love, growth through love. What is love? So I'm looking at those things as well, exploring ideas about self-love, self, about nature and areas. But I just love to write. There are days when I just, I've been doing what is called morning pages now. So every morning, as soon as I wake up, I just write everything that I have in my brain, write it down, brain dump, and then get started with my day. It's some of the time like, wow, it's really good. So that's what I've been doing. Yes.
I love it, and it takes dedication, right? There's almost an
Yes.
art to that, being able
Yeah.
to dedicate that practice in the morning of like stream of consciousness writing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Excellent. So, how many notebooks do you have?
We have several. This one is special because I have a friend of mine. She's an artist, and so she has this thing of you wrapping your books and things. So we put the notebook together, we put our wrapping on, and then I started writing. So this one is almost finished, and I sometimes do journaling, mindfulness journaling. And I went to a writer's workshop and I have another one. So I have several, I keep buying different notebooks for different reasons, different things that I keep them. I like to write by hand first and then type it. So yeah. And
Excellent.
I like writing with a pencil most of the time too, just writing things down. Yeah.
Beautiful, Nadine. Beautiful. And what's it like living in China? As an expat, are you very involved with like the expat community there, or?
We do have a strong expat community, and there is a specific group for women. So there's a group called GGI, Girls Gone International. So all the women have come together and we have several activities. So once a month, we have like a book club. Sometimes we have a paint and sip. Sometimes we go to the beach. Sometimes we have a party. So there are many different things. And there are also other groups for writers. There's a writers group. Now I'm part of a group doing dance and expression. So I think foreigners get together and try to find, their niche, whether they're in art or music or sound, word. There are many different groups of people. Before it was even bigger, but yeah, there's a lot of people have also left.
Okay, excellent. And are you able to converse, fluently in Chinese? Is it Mandarin that you speak or Cantonese?
Mandarin. I'm not fluent. I'm still studying. Um, I struggle a lot with the tones in Chinese, but yes, I'm getting the air for it, and I'm trying to learn. So yes, yeah.
That's amazing. What is your favorite, I guess, like a Chinese phrase?
My favorite Chinese phrase, so you hear it a lot, and it's "meguanxi." It just means don't worry too much about it. It's okay, meguanxi. So, if you go and somebody says, "Yeah, it's okay, meguanxi." So, it's just don't worry too much about something. It's okay,
Ne guanxi?
meguanxi.
Ne guanxi. Okay. I think I might adopt that today. Ne guanxi. Thank you. It's fun to explore new languages, right? I think,
Yeah. And
yeah,
sometimes I'm speaking Chinese, but then I'm also thinking of Japanese words I know, and I was like, oh, this is a Japanese word, not not the Chinese word. And before that, when I was a high school student and university student, I learned Spanish. So sometimes oh yeah, this word is also Spanish. So yes, there's a lot of different languages. So like when you read that word in my poem, inaka, the inak is a word in Japanese that means the countryside, the inaka. So sometimes I just put some of these words in it sporadically. You'll see some of that. Yeah. Mhm.
that's excellent. And I mean, that's one of the reviews that you got, just, having a multilingual specialist, multiliterally specialist writing this book of poems. So I love that. Um, and what are some nuances of culture? What are some things that you've seen in living daily life in China versus like your Jamaican upbringing or even living in the UK and Japan?
Well, every place is just totally different. For example, in Japan, if they have this culture all the time, so we had to get used to always bowing, and it became such a part of us. Even when we met another foreigner, we were also bowing, and we would talk about this thing. Yeah, so that is totally what we were used to, and yeah, and we would always sit. Everywhere we went to, you take your shoes off, you sit on the floor. So those things are quite different. You have a tatami floor instead of what I was used to. So yeah, in China, just interacting with people, because one word can just have so many different meanings. Say it, and you have to be so careful with the tones, and just the daily interaction that you could see two people and they seem to be shouting at each other, but they're not actually fighting. It's just the way they talk to each other, and you'd be like, okay. So you have to get used to this thing of not being direct, being less direct, being finding another way of saying something. But I think that's more the culture. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. I love it. I love these cultural insights, because I think with Zoom and being online, right, we're now able to travel virtually and meet
Yeah.
so many interesting people. And I'm so happy that we crossed paths here too. So I'm very excited to see you speak on this topic because it's much needed right now.
Yeah.
Much needed.
Much needed. Yeah.
So do you think you'll return to Jamaica or travel anywhere else, or are you, happy where you are right now in China?
I do long to go home. I haven't been home since 2018, because in 2018 my sister and my niece came to visit me, and then 2019 I was planning to go home, and I think I didn't get to go home, and then 2020 was the pandemic, and then since then I haven't been home. So yes, I do feel like I've been out of touch with people, and so much has happened, and yeah, I really want to go back home. It's just that there are different things that you miss. I miss seeing my family, miss the food, miss just cultural things. But would I live somewhere else? I'll see what happens. I'm not sure yet. Yeah.
Excellent. What is the your favorite Jamaican food that you're missing right now?
Well, we have something called roast breadfruit. So you pick this from a tree. It's round, it's green. You pick it from the tree, then you put it over like some hot coals. You roast it, Then you cut it open, and it's almost like a bread. You can just put butter on it, eat it like that. This is one of the things I really miss because you can't find it maybe in the Caribbean, but not in many other places you'll find this. So yeah,
So there hasn't been something similar in Chinese cuisine like that.
I don't know. I haven't found anything similar. Yeah, like coconut milk and coconut water here, so that's not too bad.
And tell me about this trip that you took to Bali, because one of the pictures you submitted to me was like you sitting in this big bird's nest. It looked like a bird's nest to me. And so
Yeah,
what
it
was
was, yeah. Well, we always have a lot of time to travel sometimes. So it was February of 2019. It's the last trip that I took before the pandemic. So I had time. It was now Chinese New Year. We had 3 weeks off, and I decided to go to Singapore and to Bali. And while I was in Bali, somebody was saying, "Oh, you should go to the Bali swing." So I just said, okay, I hired a car and I went there. But when I got there, it was more of a photo shoot thing. So there was a place where you could rent a dress. So that dress is not my dress. I had to rent a dress. And then, yeah, then I got on the swing, and then they had a professional photographer. And it was just, so we just made a photo day of it because it was like everybody was just, dressed up and was, yeah. So it was amazing. So you get on this swing and you can see all the area below, and it's quite beautiful. But
how
more
high?
of,
How
huh?
high was the swing?
I well, they kind of have this thing and they push you off.
Okay.
Thing off, yeah. And I'm quite afraid of heights, so I was like, wow. But yeah, it was quite interesting, and I was even impressed that I found a dress that I could wear. So I rented this red dress, and everybody was like, "Oh, it looks like your dress," but no, I just rented a dress.
If you had not told me that, I thought you looked beautiful. And I was like, oh, wow, that was like a perfect dress to wear.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, how fun. What a great experience,
yeah. It
So
was really a great experience.
you got to go on a swinging adventure and made a photo shoot, and they had a whole wardrobe ready to go.
Exactly, yeah. And then after that, I stayed like a week in Bali, enjoyed the food, um, because I really like it's an island like Jamaica, so I love the weather, I love the food. I was amazed to go to places and see these beautiful paintings of Bob Marley being sold on the beach, and yeah, so it was quite interesting. And then I went to Singapore. Then on the 7th of February, I got back to China. It was the last flight out of Singapore, and then that was it.
And that was it. Wow. Well, it's a trip to remember,
Yeah,
before everything went down to lockdown. So
yes, yes.
excellent. Bali is on my bucket list. And so I'm so glad you told me about the Bali swings, because now I can just make sure I add that to the itinerary.
But yeah, it's an amazing place with so many different things. I wanted to learn how to go to a cooking class, but there weren't enough people when I joined, and so we had to cancel. But that's one of the things that I've heard is really good. You can go to a cooking class and learn how to cook their local food.
Exactly. And I'm sure, were you writing at that time too, just recording that experience, that vacation?
I did some writing. So whenever I'm traveling, I would just have my phone. I also write a lot of stuff on my phone. So I just take notes. And they've also had writing retreats there. But since
Oh,
the pandemic as well, they've not been able to hold these retreats. Yeah.
oh, that sounds like so much fun too. A writing retreat. Yes.
Yeah.
Some people, it's just escaping out of your everyday environment, right? Being in a new place and being able to tap into that creative energy.
Mhm.
Excellent. Awesome. Well, thank you, Nadine, so much for spending your evening with us. Oh my gosh, it's midnight. We so appreciate your time, and we're so looking forward to you sharing with us some writing tips and writing prompts during the Sing Your Heart Song Summit.
Well, I will. What I've done, so I did a workshop here in China with women, and it's about journaling, and I've combined a bit of writing and journaling prompts, a bit of exercise, a bit of art. So there are different things to make it interesting, and I got good reviews about it. So that's the kind of way I'll be doing it.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to that because part of, the theme of day 3, sharing your heart song, right,
Mhm.
is through perhaps writing, perhaps through journaling, perhaps through poetry. So I'm really excited that you'll be leading that workshop for us. And if you are just tuning in, watching this spotlight, go ahead and register. You can register for the summit today, and you can also upgrade your ticket for a bonus workshop in which you can design a personalized journal. So day 1 is our journal workshop. And so this is where you get to choose your color journal. It will be laser engraved with the Summit logo and website. It will also have your name and then a coordinating kit of Swarovski crystals. So imagine that's day 1, you're getting to do this creative workshop, embellishing your journal. Then by day 3, you get to use your journal.
And
And
you don't have to be a writer to attend, because a lot of people say, oh, they can't write. But when when they did the workshop, they were like, wow, they were able to just write so many beautiful things, and just beautiful art and beautiful poetry, music, whatever they came up with was really good.
excellent. I love that you said that. You don't have to be a writer, capital W writer.
We all have some kind of art in us, some kind of writing, some kind of inspiration. So that's where we want to go to find that. Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, Doreen. Doreen, I know it's past Doreen's bedtime as well, and she's still watching. Doreen is commenting from Malaysia. Thank you so much, Doreen, for your
Oh,
support.
Doreen. I've also been to Malaysia. I love Malaysia. I was there. I have a friend in Penang, and I was there for her wedding. So yeah, it
I
was
love
great.
Malaysian food.
Malaysian food. I love Malaysian food too. Yeah.
So, because I think there are some dishes where it's like a cross between Chinese, Indian
Mhm.
cuisine, and it's just so yummy how they've made that fusion possible. Excellent. So thank you, Doreen. Doreen, I hope that you've registered for the summit and tell all your friends and to come join us. And we would love to have you there. So we're going to close out the speaker spotlight. Thank you once again, Nadine. Have a
Thank you so
wonderful evening. Yes, it's been such a pleasure getting to know you and celebrating, right? Celebrating all of your book success.
Thank
So
you. Yeah.
you're very welcome. All right, we'll see you soon. And please register for the Sing Your Heart Song Summit today, and also choose your upgrade today as well too. So the link is here below, and you will see more of Nadine at the Sing Your Heart Song Summit. See you then.
See
Bye.
you, and thank you all. Thank you all for showing up. Thank you. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Nadine.
Bye.
Did you know that you could upgrade your event ticket to the Sing Your Heart Song Summit and be included in the bonus creative workshop that's led by the creative visionary Chris Dyer? You are invited to create your personalized custom journal for your Sing Your Heart Song Summit experience. These journals are custom laser engraved with your name. They will also have the Sing Your Heart Song Summit website and logo. There are 10 colors that you can choose from, and each journal may be personalized, and Swarovski crystals will be sent to complement your color choice. Plus, you can also request some fun stencils, patterns, and designs to complete your journal kit. Upgrade today for $57, and this too can be your experience. This is the perfect way to record all your notes during the Sing Your Heart Song Summit.